Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach. It's going to be the round 19 pre-lockout discussion. It is, after a glorious origin. I mean, what a game. What a game. What a win for Queensland. I'm not going to yap on too much about origin in this video, but I mean, it was perfection. I mean, genuinely they played... you couldn't fault, like, literally the only couple of errors, and one error late in the game where they let the ball bounce off a bomb was a mistake, and it did let New South Wales get a bit more footy in that second half, but I think they defended that set regardless. And then the one in the first half, again, not a mistake necessarily, but Ruben Cotter did sort of bomb a try by I was yelling at the TV, like, just give it to Hemiso, but Hemiso clever enough to tap it back, and they scored off the preceding couple of plays anyway. So, I mean, Queensland was so damn good, and it felt like it's just really nice to win a game like that and not have, like, controversy. I know people are carrying on about that first try. It might have been forward. 50-50. Shut the fuck up. The amount of, like, New South Wales... They got the rub of the green this game, and don't even lie about it. They did. The amount of forward passes they threw in that second half, it was crazy. But yeah, perfect. Like there's nothing. There are some weirdos who still complain about the ref, which is crazy, but there is no actual excuse for New South Wales. Queensland were just better, so that it just makes it that much more sweeter. Because I mean, at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck if we win off like a bit of a controversial play or something like that. If you win, you win. I don't really care, but it is a little bit sweeter when it happens, and you just were better. You just fucking played better. So let us get into actual Supercoach discussion. And so, Origin Fallout. Again, the only players we got, Zach Lomax. I think he'd back up. He had a bit of a shocker. Lomax. He didn't have his best game. He was still tough. Carrying with ball carries. Took a lot of runs. So he definitely put in some work. But he plays on the Sunday afternoon. They lost. A bit of a poor game for Zach, so I'd be very surprised if he didn't back up unless there's an injury. So I would suspect Lomax will back up, and then Payne Haas. I don't know. I don't know. Like, should he even been playing Origin? Like he's been carrying a few injuries. The back, the I don't know if it was a quad or a groin. He had a couple of niggling injuries, obviously, for a while now, but he still played. He was one of their best players, so I don't know. We'll see. It does, like I said, we do have Lindsay Smith who can come in for Payne Haas if he doesn't play. Now, at the moment, I've gone Kiraz in for Horati. Now, there was a part of me that still didn't mind the idea of getting rid of Billy Smith instead of Horati, but I think because Horati is still out, Billy Smith's playing, he's going to make more cash, and he is a playable option for me this week as well. I don't mind playing him. I think I'm just going to do the Horati play. This also gives me a nice little buffer with Lindsay Smith. It's not the biggest deal ever, but obviously a Payne Haas is a late out. We might know early. I don't know, but if it's a later out, we should have time to swing in Smith and drop Haas, so we don't have to have Smith as a reserve. We got Hines, Lomax, Billy Smith, and Drinkwater, which is absolutely fine. So moving on, the other trades to make. Now, that's right. Basically, I'm sort of just Yeah, I think I mean, if we do get sort of I feel like Pappenhausen's going to take the goal kicking. If he's back and he's fit, I think Pappy will goal kick. So I'm going to have the vice captain on Pappenhausen, captain on Tedesco. And if Pappenhausen goes big and I can loop, then I think I'll just ride the no dummy halves this week again. It'll be fine. It is the big question. Harry Grant or Connor Watson. Now, Cameron Munster has already been rested now for this game against Newcastle. You feel like Grant probably should get a rest as well. Like, he's played 80 minutes now in both Origins. He came into Origin 1 after a hammy injury, so it would seem crazy if Bellamy didn't rest Grant, but I don't know. I don't know. I feel like he's surely got to get a rest, or if not, he won't play 80 minutes. Like, there's no shot. But I guess with Munster out, maybe there is a little bit more of a reliance on Grant. I mean, you got Tyron Wishart, who I'm assuming will come in at 6, who would usually be the backup for Grant. I mean, that's why Tyron Wishart's so good for this Storm team, right? He can cover literally any of the main positions when needed. So I probably, if I was going this week, I think I would just get in Connor Watson. I mean, Connor Watson, like, Grant, I feel like he is starting to get a little bit of that Harry Grant back. The last couple of Origins, he's looked a lot better. This third game, he was outstanding. He was really threatening. He ran it, and just a lot of potential runs, and then just hitting a man, going hard behind the ruck, and just almost splitting them a few times. So Grant, it looks like he's starting to get a little bit more back. I just don't know. It's like, I don't know. I just feel like Connor Watson's just the safer play, though, because surely Connor Watson didn't play big minutes in Origin. Again, he might have played, what did he play, like 30 minutes, maybe 30 odd, bit less than 30. He came on in the second half. I can't remember exactly, but he's a little bit more expensive. Harry Grant is coming off I thought he got a big score. He's got a big break even. He must have, oh no, yeah, he did get 2 80s in a row, but yeah, 38. So yeah, they didn't play, they didn't play round 13, so we didn't see if he would, excuse me, we didn't see if he would get a rest, but then he played, that's right, they played game 2 of Origin, he backed up and played fucking 84 minutes against the Bunnies. Like, what? That's crazy. And then round 17, got a 45, so, I don't know. I think I'd just rather Watson. Like, he's got a couple of good games coming up, like Newcastle, but again, this is back up after Origin. Manly, but that's at it's Amy Park. For some reason I thought Brookvale, but no, Amy Park. So that's good. Roosters, pretty good. Parramatta, very good. But then Broncos, even though, I mean, Broncos, they do put... They do love beating up on the Broncos, but hopefully the Broncos can come home strong. But yeah, Broncos, Penrith, Dogs, Roosters, like, as far as it can go, I feel like that's pretty tough. And I guess also he's not actually... Is he already been rested? Was he not actually named? Was he on the extended? I actually don't know. Who did they have? Okay, so just checking it quickly. Okay, so originally, yeah, he didn't actually name any of his Origin players. Tyron Wishart was already at 6, and I guess, yeah, they got Bronson Garlick, who can fill in. Jonah Pezzett is back from injury as well, so he can be the 14. They are all on the extended. Munster obviously not playing. He is not backing up. Yeah, I feel like, yeah... We'll see. But I honestly, I think I just prefer Connor Watson. Hopefully he's got a big break even. What is Connor Watson's... a 60. So I was sort of hoping he'd be a little higher, just so he could potentially lose cash, but he'll probably play big minutes. Like, honestly, he didn't play massive minutes in Origin. They lost. He's just been really consistent. Like, he's going to play massive minutes. He has got bigger scores in him. He hasn't really shown, like, a huge ceiling, but I think there definitely could be games where he gets a couple of tries or a couple of try assists. Like, he's that type of player. If he's going to lock from dummy half, like, you'd probably rather him at lock for running, and then dummy half, he's a threat as well. Your Dragons, Sharks, Melbourne, tough couple of games, but then Manly, Dolphins, Dogs, Parramatta, it's pretty tough as well. Like, it's up and down, but I'd probably just prefer Connor Watson. The big question is if we're getting him this week, and I feel like the answer is, well, we're waiting. Again, we're waiting to see. I don't think we don't need to pull the trigger yet, so we can wait on the dummy half to see what happens. If our vice captain doesn't go big and we're not going to take the free loop, then again, we don't have to bring in a dummy half, but I probably would just pull the trigger and trade out. I don't know who would you trade out first, though? Because now, so Mamazoulis, I was like, oh, maybe he'll go back to big minutes. Brandon Smith gone for a decent chunk, but apparently the Smith's injury isn't as bad as they first thought, and they're actually looking at potentially after the bye he's going to be back. I don't know how true that is, but obviously if that happens, Mamazoulis not playing regardless, so it'd be fine. But I don't know, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I mean, both of them can go. It's just a matter of, like, you just feel like if you hold Sam Smith, there could be the odd game where he gets a start. Like, I don't know. I don't know. We'll work it out. The front row, that's completely fine. The back row is completely fine. I would like to bring in Angus Crichton this week. I think going Angus Crichton would be nice. I think getting ahead of the pack, he's got like a 50 break even. I would very much expect him to back up. He was very poor in Origin. He's honestly had a bit of a... I get that New South Wales picked Crichton and Liam Martin. Obviously, you know, they've been there, they've done the job before. Crichton has been one of the best back rowers in the world. Liam Martin, I've always thought is a bit fucking... you know, I've never been a massive fan of Martin, but he comes up with big plays at times. So I understand they picked them, but if you're being genuine, they definitely have not been the form back rowers for New South Wales. Like, before Olakau'atu got injured, Olakau'atu had been in better form. Hudson Young, who was on the bench, has definitely been in better form. Dylan Lucas has probably been, in my opinion, probably arguably the best back row in the comp this year. He had missed a bit of footy, but he's been sensational. And even like a Jacob Preston, I think, as well. He's missed a bit of footy as well, but I think he's been in better form. So, like, yeah, Angus Crichton, I don't know what to think about him. Like, I think he's a good pickup, and I definitely am keen to trade Hosking, because I think Hosking, he's done a great job for me, but at the end of the day, Hudson Young is going to come back into the 80-minute role. There's then going to be that rotation. Probably Sami is going to come on for Hosking and just sort of stuff up the minutes. He might go to the middle rotation, but it wasn't really scoring that well when it was happening. So I think Hosking is definitely a guy to be traded out, but... Did we get on Angus Crichton this week? It is a good matchup against the Dragons for sure. Like that's a good matchup. I feel like the Roosters could put some points on the Dragons in this one. And then the only other position now is, I mean, so obviously Cleary is a guy to bring back in. We'll see what happens. I'm not going this week, but is he going to go big this week? We'll see. I don't know. Is he going to get rested? Probably not. after Origin, and even him coming out and saying he's been pretty poor. So I don't know, we'll see. But I'm not going to trade this week, but yeah, it's obviously pretty nerve-wracking not owning Nathan Cleary. Liking King Tongia obviously can get traded, but I don't know. I'm still open to the idea of just nothing King Tongia. Like, I'm happy to run Campbell as my number 1 5'8" for the run home now. Don't get me wrong, like a Cam Munster for the run home might be nice. Tommy Dearden after Origin, fucking just going to another level. You never know, but I don't know. Dearden's always been that player, right? Like, he has some big scores in him, but then he does have the low scores. Like, yeah, he goes on little runs. It's actually a pretty good run coming up for them, but yeah, the point I was making is that, yeah, there's a few guys that would be nice, but I've got Campbell. I don't want to spend money on another 5'8" that I want to play because the team is so stacked. Like, I wouldn't even play them pretty much any week. So the question then is, do you wait for Tanner Boyd? But again, you're not really making much money going to Tanner Boyd, you know? Tanner Boyd could average 40 or 50 maybe. I don't know. It'll be a good watch this week to see how they go. They do have a really good run. Or do you just nuff him out? And I'm starting to think probably just nuff. I actually think you probably just nuff. You get like, if he doesn't drop a bunch of, I'm not going to do it this week, but if he doesn't drop a bunch of cash, even if he drops a little bit, like, you're still almost banking 200k from that nuff. And if something happens to Campbell, then we just trade Campbell to another gun 5'8". So I'm probably going to do that. I mean, I guess the temptation, you could just hold King Tongia, but then it does screw up your AE. Like, obviously you've got the flex now, so your lowest score drops out anyway. So if it's King Tongia getting like 20 points, his score will drop out. But I mean, let's be real. Most weeks there's going to be some sort of not all the time, but there's a good chance that a player scores low, right? Someone gets a knock, someone gets a niggle, an injury. So then if you got another low scorer, then you're going to get dudded anyway. So it's probably good to just get rid of any sort of dead weight like that and just have, a guy that's going to score like 50 to 60 more consistently as sort of your lowest non-player, if you can swing it like that. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking, nothing. So yeah, I think we're holding that. Our center wing is stacked at this point, for sure. Like, it's stacked. It's got good depth. We'll have a quick look. What other center wing is? Obviously, there's like a Val Holmes, who is obviously a gun, definitely a top center winger. But are we going to look to bring him in? Obviously, we traded out of Zarko. I feel good about it. He could go big, but I'm happy I went no one need to Waze for him. I feel good about it. Fletcher Sharp, he's gone. Shibazaki, I mean, we're not bringing Shibazaki back, but fuck, he's doing a good job. Bowie Fermor, rock solid, but again, I wouldn't really. You want the upside. Val Holmes is definitely one. And then, honestly, there's nothing more I really want. Like, the top, like, Averillo, Timoko. Timoko's had a pretty good year, actually, for what he usually does. Kohler has been pretty good. He's averaging 64 this year. But, like, none of these guys, I mean, Lehigh, nah. At this point, you're definitely not going Lehigh. I've got the center wings I want. Obviously, there is a point of, like, you could take a bit of a pod play at some point. But at the moment, the center wingers I've got, I'm very happy with. It's just a matter of, like, if we're going to, I guess, yeah, probably just nuff out Billy Smith. Again, we probably just nuff him out. There's really no reason to get in there's no reason to get into Val Holmes. As much as Val Holmes could go big, he does have a tough run. But let's just look at it with like no buys this week, right? Let's just say everyone's fit to go. Obviously there'll be one buy, so we'll act like we won't have one player. Let's just have a look at our like full strength team with like no buys, and then we'll have a quick squiz. So obviously we won't play Billy Smith, Lomax, Drinkwater, Pappy Ted, Campbell, Hughes, Hines, Lucas, Katoa, Kickow, Kalamatangi, May, Haas, and dummy half, obviously. So that's how the team will look. Obviously, we're going to have another... Yeah, we'll have another gun second rower. We'll have like a Angus Crichton. Even like, fuck, if we wait... You know, maybe Dave Fafita is another guy you could have a look at if he gets a starting spot as a pod. But we'll have another gun second rower to choose from. And then, I mean, we'll have Karapani, who was also like, he's a tough guy to leave out. Like this week against the Titans, you got to play Karapani if it was like this. So we don't really want the extra option. Obviously, there'll be a buy, right? So let's just say, yeah, like Melbourne are on a buy, right? So you swing... No Katoa, I guess you wouldn't have Pappy as well. I mean, it's not bad to have the extra depth, but like a lot of the teams now that we're looking at don't actually have buys after this week. So, yeah, it's not as... that's not even that big a play anyway. So I do think potentially just nothing out Billy Smith is probably the way to go, if I'm being honest. Just get this back to what it was meant to be before I forget. Billy Smith, and I think I have made the decision to go to trade Hiroti instead of Smith. Obviously, if Smith is like a late out again, it's gonna fucking annoy me if he is, because Sharks play the first game of the round. So hopefully we know before that happens. that would piss me off. That would definitely piss me off. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, hopefully they confirm that Billy Smith is good to go. Otherwise, if he was out, then I think I would just trade Smith instead of Hiroti. I think holding Hiroti is probably a better play, but for now, this is fine. And then, yeah, we just wait to see what happens with our vice captain. If we want to bring in Connor Watson, we could go Angus Crichton this week. But again, if we go Angus Crichton, then I'd probably drop Billy Smith. Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. I think I am going to run with the Pappenhausen Tedesco combo. Again, if we get early word that Pappy's not goal kicking, then I might shift it, especially with Munster out as well, and if Grant gets rested. Yeah, I don't hate the idea of just a vice captaining Tedesco and then captaining, honestly, fucking Kiraz against the Dogs, I don't hate. And then Tedesco would be like a free loop. So if he gets anything half decent, I'd probably just take the free loop. So we'll see. We'll play it by ear for that first couple of games. I am happy with that. I was actually looking at the plays here, like the top scoring players, and it feels good. Like, look at the players and the players that are in my team. I've got all of the top players, and it feels good. Obviously, the total points, which is sometimes a little deceiving, but it is obviously, if you've got a bunch of the top total point scoring players, then you're having a pretty okay season. We don't have Hudson Young, Hines, Katoa, but then yeah, obviously you go down and Markey down there, Hughes, Kickow, and even like Kiraz is pretty far down because he's missed a bunch of footy. But yeah, it feels pretty good to like look at this first page and be like, yeah, we own all those guys. But I mean, most people do, but it looked nice on paper. it looked good on paper. So yeah, I think we're pretty much good. Like, we probably will be using our second trade. Then it'll leave us with 10 trades for the run home, which is like, you know, we're definitely getting down in trades. But looking at it, again, the only player I think we will need back 100% is Nathan Cleary, right? So that'll push us down to 9 trades. Nothing at King Tonga, 8 trades. Getting in, it'll either be a back row or a hooker, because it will either go a hooker or back rower this week, so we'll do the other one. That'll be down to 7. So 7 trades left. And this is the thing, so I might be trading Mamazoulis, because if Mamazoulis winds up on the bench, then he's a pain in the ass. And he's not that much cheaper than Sandon Smith. Sandon Smith is out of the team completely, so I don't hate having Sandon Smith there. And, you know, if we have to nuff him at some point, we'll nuff him. But if he comes back in or something, then, you know, I guess he's a playable option. So we'll work that out. And then, yeah, the 7 trades, we can have a little bit of fun. Obviously, you might a couple of trades for a couple of injuries. So 5 trades left to like do some pod plays if we feel so inclined. So I feel like it's going pretty well. I feel like we're in a very good spot. Overall, I'm very happy with the squad moving forward. You know, a big decision this week, but not necessarily. We got $340K in the bank, so that's plenty of cash to go Mamazoulis up to... I mean, if we go Mamazoulis up to Watson, we'll still have $150K thereabouts in the bank. So that's nice. We've obviously got the Tongia / the other hooker Nuff to free up another couple $100K. So we're feeling pretty sweet overall for cash and basically being able to do what we want with trade. So that feels very nice moving forward. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.